용어를 알면 경제가 보인다. 영어로 경제기사 읽자.
Econ Lounge.
Rich Sam, I
네.
believe this is our 26th edition of Econ Lounge.
Wow, you've been keeping track.
I have half a year. How many words do you think we covered?
We've covered a tsunami of words, a mountain of economic terms, maybe a whole ocean's worth.
A whole ocean's worth. 우리가 한 대여섯 개, 5, 6 per week we usually do, right?
Okay, you gonna do the
그렇게
math on
따지면
that?
뭐
quickly?
150개 정도 한 것 같은데.
I wonder how many everyone remembers.
Yes, I hope you remember at least a dozen. At least a dozen of the 150 that we covered over the past half year.
그렇죠.
오늘은 또 어떤 단어들이 나올지 Let's have a look. Here is our first economic story.
A new workplace trend called job hugging, which is staying in a role mainly for security, is rising as workers react to labor market uncertainty, layoffs, and AI disruption.
노동시장 불확실성과 구조조정, 그리고 인공지능 확산에 대한 우려가 커지면서 잡 허깅이라는 새로운 직장 트렌드가 확산되고 있는데요. 잡 허깅은 주로 안정성을 위해 현재 직무에 머무르는 현상을 뜻합니다.
Many employees are delaying job moves for stability, reflecting increased risk aversion. This can hurt long-term human capital development and reduce future productivity if workers avoid learning new skills.
많은 근로자들이 안정을 우선시하며 이직을 미루고 있는데 이는 위험을 회피하려는 성향이 강해졌음을 보여줍니다. 그러나 새로운 기술을 배우지 않고 변화에 적응하지 않을 경우 장기적으로는 인적 자본 축적에 부정적인 영향을 미치고 미래 생산성도 떨어질 수 있다는 지적이 나옵니다.
Analysts believe this behavior is driven more by economic survival concerns than job satisfaction. While job security feels safe short term, refusing to evolve alongside technological and market shifts may ultimately harm both employees and employers.
전문가들은 이러한 현상이 직무 만족도 때문이라기보다 경제적 생존에 대한 불안감에서 비롯된 것이라고 분석합니다. 단기적으로는 직업 안정성이 안전하게 느껴질 수 있지만 기술과 시장 변화에 맞춰 스스로를 발전시키지 않으면 결국 근로자와 기업 모두에게 부정적인 결과를 가져올 수 있다는 우려도 함께 나옵니다. 네, 지난 2월 15일 기사로 미국 노동시장 불안 속에 job hugging이라는 phenomenon 현상이 늘어나고 있다는 내용이죠.
And I don't think it's the first time this has happened in history, but it will
sure.
happen when any time there's economic uncertainty. But just a few years ago, the labor market, particularly in the US, was marked by what they were calling the Great Resignation, where lots of people were doing the opposite of job hugging. They were doing job hopping.
Right.
You know, you leave your job to get better pay, better working conditions. And actually, statistically, that's true. If you stay in the same
Yes.
job, the same company for your whole career, you're not going to end up with as much earnings as if you move careers
Right.
across the industry.
And I remember a couple of years back, especially near the COVID pandemic period, it was considered the proactive, the
Right.
go-getter attitude thing to do
Yeah.
if you kept going from one job to another and then just constantly looking for better
Right.
and bigger opportunities
Bigger,
out there.
yeah, of course. That's only if there is a burgeoning, a bubbling, a heated up economy. Right now, the economy is cooling off. There aren't as many opportunities out there, and people just don't feel safe kind of setting off into that kind of uncertainty. So even if they don't like their jobs or aren't finding their jobs, you know, fulfilling
yeah.
or rewarding, they're going to stay just for that security.
맞아요. 불과 몇 년 전만 해도 좀 내가 똑똑하게 내 커리어를 빌딩하고 싶다라고
Yeah.
하면은 계속 끊임없이 좀 능동적으로 더 좋은 직업, 더 좋은 pay, better position을 찾아서 여기저기 지원하고 이직을 이제 빈번하게 반복하는 게 트렌드였다면은 지금은 이직보다는 그냥 지금 있는 곳에 안전하게 머무르는 게 더 큰 트렌드가 됐습니다.
And analysts do warn that that could dampen labor market dynamism and, of course, slow both wage growth and new hiring as well.
Exactly. So let's have a look at this word, which I think we discussed before is not, it doesn't quite capture the nuance of what is
Right.
exactly happening.
It sounds kind of cozy, right?
Yes.
Job hugging, like, ooh, I love my job. I want to
Yes.
give my job a nice, big, warm hug. But it's kind of more like job clinging. You
Job
know?
clutching.
Right, exactly. So you're clinging to your current role, even if you're unhappy, even if you don't feel like you're developing because you're afraid of what's going to happen if you don't have that job. Basically, economic instability and other kinds of uncertainty in the job market.
Right, so you're not exactly satisfied, but you kind of worry that it's going to be even worse out there in the jungle, so you stay at your current job.
Exactly.
job hugging, 현재 직장을 꽉 붙들고 놓지 않으려는 태도입니다. 특히 지금처럼 경기 불확실성이나 구조조정 우려가 있을 때 이직이나 도전을 좀 회피하고 안전하게 현재 직장에 머무는 건데 job hugging은 왠지 좀 따뜻한 느낌이 들잖아요.
네.
But it's closer to job clutching,
Right.
job clinging. Risk aversion, what is this?
Risk aversion is something that leads to job hugging. Aversion means you strongly dislike something. For example, some people have an aversion to certain foods.
Cilantro.
Cilantro, you have an aversion to it?
I love it, but some people do.
Right, it's a particular one where people just either like it or absolutely can never have it in anything. So in this case, it's risk aversion, a dislike or a mistrust of risk, which means you don't want to be in a dangerous situation that is not certain.
You want to keep it safe, you want to
Yeah.
play it safe. It's the very opposite of risk taking.
Exactly.
위험을 회피하려는 성향, risk aversion입니다. aversion은 아주 싫어하는 거고요.
Yeah.
risk taking의 완전 반대인 거죠. So if you have risk aversion, you are likely to keep job hugging. All right, let's have a listen to the article once more.
A new workplace trend called job hugging, which is staying in a role mainly for security, is rising as workers react to labor market uncertainty, layoffs, and AI disruption. Many employees are delaying job moves for stability, reflecting increased risk aversion. This can hurt long-term human capital development and reduce future productivity if workers avoid learning new skills. Analysts believe this behavior is driven more by economic survival concerns than job satisfaction. While job security feels safe short term, refusing to evolve alongside technological and market shifts may ultimately harm both employees and employers.
All right, so that was our first article with the keywords job hugging and risk aversion. We now have the Econ Pop Quiz.
All right, which term describes frequently switching jobs in short intervals to boost your career and salary growth? This is the opposite of job hugging that we just were talking about. Number one, job hopping. Number two, job shopping.
Once again.
Which term describes switching jobs a lot to get more money and to advance your career? The opposite of job hugging. Number one, job hopping. Number two, job shopping.
We did actually mention this, the
Yeah.
correct term before as we were explaining the story.
It was in there.
So please use that as a hint. 문자 샵 1045 반디 유튜브 댓글로 정답 보내주시면 저희가 아로마 힐링 세트 보내드리겠습니다.
This is Stay With Me by Sam Smith.
EBS FM Evening Special Econ Lounge 함께하고 있습니다. We gave you the Econ Pop Quiz just before the music break. What was
And
it?
it was this. Which term frequently describes frequently switching jobs all the time to get a better career, get a leg up in your career, and to make more money? The opposite of job hugging. The answer is A, or number one, whichever one I said, job hopping.
All right, you did say 1 and 2.
Okay.
So many people did correctly answer number 1, but we are going to give the aroma healing set to 끝번호 9383님. 1번, job hopping이요. AI 기업으로 hopping하고 싶네요.
좋은 아이디어인데요.
Yes, it also means that you should tune in tomorrow.
Yes,
we have
for AI issue.
That's right. So to keep you updated on the latest AI issues.
Or you could ask AI what the best way to do that would be.
Yeah, you can ask it for directions.
Can you? You got any jobs for me?
Yes. Let's see. How do you suggest that I go about doing this job hopping into the AI industry? You could ask that. All right, let's check out our second economic story.
South Korea dropped to 9th among United States import partners in 2025 as tariffs introduced by Donald Trump reduced its export competitiveness. Data cited by the Korea International Trade Association shows Korea's U.S. market share fell to its lowest level since 1988, reflecting weaker performance in tariff-exposed industries such as autos and steel.
트럼프 대통령이 도입한 관세 정책의 영향으로 한국의 수출 경쟁력이 약화되면서 한국은 2025년 미국의 수입 상대국 순위에서 9위로 하락했습니다. 한국무역협회가 인용한 자료에 따르면 한국의 미국 시장 점유율은 1988년 이후 최저 수준으로 떨어졌는데요. 이는 자동차와 철강 등 관세 영향을 직접적으로 받는 산업의 부진이 반영된 결과로 분석됩니다.
Meanwhile, Taiwan gained ground as semiconductor exports faced less tariff exposure. The shift underscores rising protectionism and pressure on Korea to diversify exports and trading partners.
반면 관세 영향이 상대적으로 적었던 대만은 반도체 수출 점유율을 확대하며 입지를 강화했습니다. 이번 변화는 글로벌 보호 무역주의 확산을 보여주는 동시에 한국이 수출 품목과 교역 상대국을 다변화해야 한다는 압박이 커지고 있음을 시사합니다. 네, 지난 2월 18일에 나왔던 경제 기사였습니다. 트럼프의 관세 정책 여파로 한국의 대미 수출 경쟁력이 약화됐고 그에 따라 순위와 점유율이 하락했다는 내용이었습니다.
Right. So this is info from the U.S. Commerce Department. The U.S. imports from South Korea totaled around $113 billion from January to November last year. So that's an almost 6% drop from a year earlier.
Wow, okay.
So that meant that Korea accounted for 3.6% of total U.S. imports. So that puts them 9th among the top 10, 2 places down from the previous year.
Right. Who overtook us this time around?
Taiwan and Ireland moved
okay.
ahead, especially Taiwan, which of course competes with Korea in the semiconductor industry. They saw their share rise from 3.6%, where Korea now sits, up to 5.6%. So that went from 8th to 4th place.
Wow, so a big jump for them. 미국 상무부 무역 통계에 따른 자료입니다. 지난해 미국의 한국 수입액은 약 1,100억 달러로 전년 동기 대비 6% 정도 감소했는데요. 그 결과 한국은 미국의 수입 상대국 순위에서 전년보다 2계단 떨어진 9위로 떨어지면서 대만과 아일랜드가 한국을 추월했습니다. And especially in the foundry, the semiconductor foundry section,
Right.
한국과 경쟁하는 대만은 점유율을 the market share 3.6%에서 5.6%로 끌어올리며 순위를 8에서 4위로 크게 올렸습니다.
And of course, the leading trade partners with the United States, unsurprisingly, Mexico and Canada, even though both of them have been threatened with a lot of tariffs lately, and there's a little animosity in the region towards the United States, and then China as well.
Did you feel the animosity on ground while you were there?
Absolutely. A lot of stores don't sell American products anymore. Some government-controlled stores have completely removed American products from the shelves.
Really?
A lot of things are marked as made in Canada much more clearly than they used
okay.
to. So you see a lot more of that going on.
Okay, so definite change in the sentiment on ground. Let's have a look at this expression, tariff exposure.
All right. Of course, tariffs. I hope you know that
By
one
now.
at least by now because we've talked about that one a lot. And everyone around the world, because of Donald Trump, has been talking about tariffs probably more than they want to lately. So tariffs are, of course, taxes on imports and exports. So tariff exposure means how much those tariffs are going to cause problems or going to impact your business.
네. Tariff exposure. tariff는 우리가 지겹도록 많이 다룬 단어죠. 뉴스에서도 하고 이건 라운지에서도 계속 미국 정부 때문에 나오는 단어인데 spelling T-A-R-I-F-F 그리고 exposure 관세 노출입니다. 그러니까 관세 부과로 기업이나 산업 또는 뭐 나라가 받는 영향의 정도를 뜻해요. tariff exposure.
Right.
그래서 수출입 비중이 높은 회사일수록 또는 높은 나라일수록 tariff exposure가 크다고 표현을 합니다. Yeah.
Yeah, your exposure is your risk, right? You have exposure in any kind of business venture, your exposure to losses, your exposure to risk, your
Right.
exposure to taxes, etc.
Right, and we are talking about one particular type of tax in this case,
Yep.
tariff exposure.
That's right.
Okay, and this is the result of many things, one of which is protectionism.
Right? If you see more tariffs, you're going to see more protectionism, which means you are trying to protect your own domestic industries. And usually you do that by restricting imports or by imposing your own tariffs.
Right. protect, P-R-O-T-E-C-T 이거는 보호하다잖아요. 그래서 무역 맥락에서 protectionism이라고 하면 보호 무역주의가 됩니다. So you are trying to protect your local industries, 자국 산업을 보호하기 위해서 수입을 제한하거나 관세를 부과하는 행위를 protectionism이라고 합니다.
And it's a balance, right? Because you do have to protect your own industries,
Yes.
particularly your farming industries, your food
yes.
producing industries, and things like that. But too much protectionism, of course, can drive down the economy as well.
Right. And many countries regarding the agricultural sector, they do have subsidies that the government pays to the individual farmers so that they can protect that local economy.
Yeah, because the country has to be able to feed itself if something
Exactly.
goes wrong, right?
It's the most basic of basic, isn't
Yep.
it? Okay, let's have a listen to the news once again.
South Korea dropped to 9th among United States import partners in 2025 as tariffs introduced by Donald Trump reduced its export competitiveness. Data cited by the Korea International Trade Association shows Korea's U.S. market share fell to its lowest level since 1988, reflecting weaker performance in tariff-exposed industries such as autos and steel. Meanwhile, Taiwan gained ground as semiconductor exports faced less tariff exposure. The shift underscores rising protectionism and pressure on Korea to diversify exports and trading partners.
All right, that was story number 2, which had the keywords tariff exposure, 관세 노출, and 보호 무역주의, protectionism.
네.
And of course, market share, 시장 점유율, also another one that we really hope you even know the spelling of by now, since we did it so often. All right, so let's do a quick recap of the keywords that came out on today's Econ Lounge. 많은 직원이 이직하기보다는 현재 직장을 지키는 경향을 보이고 있습니다.
Many employees are engaging in job hugging rather than switching jobs.
그 회사는 인적 자본을 강화하기 위해 교육에 많은 투자를 해요.
The company invests heavily in training to strengthen its human capital.
시장 변동성 속에서 투자자들의 위험 회피 성향이 높아졌습니다.
Investor risk aversion rose amid market volatility.
그 회사는 공격적인 가격 전략을 통해 시장 점유율을 확대했습니다.
The firm gained market share through aggressive pricing strategies.
무역 긴장 고조로 수출 기업들의 관세 노출도가 높아졌습니다.
Rising trade tensions increased tariff exposure for exporters.
All right, that was your tsunami of the day. That was our Econ Lounge edition number 26, I believe. We'll be back after the song.
It's Imagine Dragons, Demons.